is our third alumnus, and basically he came here, to take his old the bachelor's certificate degree, and then he met me, and the one thing which caught me, that he said that from zero now he's earning 80 lakhs per annum, and he said that it's the Chinese language which made him to, and he talked about so many ups and downs, which I think today also he spoke from his heart, and moreover it's not kind of a formal conference or something, it's the family coming back to the family. So it is more kind of coming back and sharing the experience, so that in future you should not find it's for you it's not be new. Okay, so what he's saying, that with a language with such a strong background, right? You can do other courses and keep on moving, right? So now he's saying that the CR is not far in, right? Everyone can get a CR, right? So Dada, generally our students, they had a question that I'm doing Chinese language, after that what? After BA what? So people say after BA MA. Okay, after MA what? PhD. After PhD what? Right? So through this, his lecture, through his interactions, one can say there are not only academics. Apart from academics, we have other areas, and it's more beautiful and more brighter, right? So if we all follow or basically try, and moreover, it's to connect our alumni, our family, right? So whenever you are going to Chennai, or if it's in any point of time you find any, you get fits up, or basically confused or whatever, so your alumnus are there, your teachers there, you can straight away call. Okay, so this is effort of the center to connect our alumnus and invite them here, so that the future generations can get benefit. Okay, and we also can get benefit from our alumnus in so many ways, right? Like just now he introduced our center with so many solar companies, so they will come. And Dada, for your information, we talked about the Chinese language, and you work as an engineer. So I can tell you one recent, there is a Oppo, and one of your recent alumnus, Priyanka, I joined Oppo. Okay, I think it's 30 lakhs per annum. And I got a feedback from the Oppo HR that she is doing amazing. I mean, she is now working as an engineer there. So basically, like JNU selects bright minds, right? And the Chinese center polish you, trains you, right? And when you go there and you are every day into that atmosphere, you become more engineer, more technical, right? Absolutely. And then once you go to the next job, your experience will give you more the salary. So that's what the other try to discuss and to share. So with this, thank you for nice, and moreover I can tell you, he waited for us. His work was done then and there in one day. But I requested him to please wait for our alumni lecture series. It's on Friday. So he and I am especially on behalf of the center, we're thankful, for keeping a promise and staying 2 days or 3 days more, for this event. So today, I think in the tomorrow morning you have a flight. Early morning we get back, and then he will start his next journey to China.
I'm going to Bangalore. The project handover is there.
Yeah.
Because the PV line is handed over. 3 engineers Chinese are working there. So one Indian engineers also there. So basically the PV line is fully functional. That they are manufacturing. Even I will share a group the PV video of how the manufacturing. Start your corporate journey. You have no idea what is going to happen. End of the day, you need to show the result, right? So can you make a difference in this? So you have enough time. Today you read one lesson, or sir has given a lesson to prepare. You prepare. Tomorrow, day after tomorrow, you have time. You can make your own comfort zone. So now our mind is, when you study, we cannot even think of what is happening in the corporate world, right? So, but when you are exposed to the work in front of your desk, You are the owner of your own. You have no other option except you have to fill, you have to do the work, you have to give the result. End of the day, you have to show the KRA. That is called your performance, right? So life performance is result oriented. Here we are family. There also you get a family, but it's unknown. It's not known. Okay. So this is what, when I started my career in Oracle, first job my as a Chinese expert sales, or you can say like as an analyst or anything. So initially my thought process was like, oh my God, it's Oracle, what it does, I don't know. What was this, what I need to do, where is my language? So one thing will come in your mind also, where is my language will be used? I don't know. What to be done? I don't know. Where I need to do the translation and interpretation, this is all I need to do. So these questions will come in your mind, right? The same thing happened with me. I was blank for 3 months, what I do here. Because Oracle, finally I got to know about Oracle. It's like a financial software company, ERPs, they have so many applications for us, all these things. What I need to do here? What's my role? It's very critical. Just that time you feel, you may have an anxiety also, you may have a frustration also. Right? So these things to overcome. At the time you are going to finish your learning here, you be prepared to learn about how this industry is functioning, irrespective of industries, manufacturing, IT, services, or any kind of consulting, support, or any job. So all the industries you need to just focus. You need to know how the industry is functioning, how manufacturing industry is functioning. Don't consider yourself that you are only an interpreter or translator. The moment you build your thought that I am only made for just, someone will say something, I will say this. Someone will write, I will write this. And you are not. Then you are not fit for this conference. Why it will not help you? I will tell you gradually. You will come to the point with the facts. Initially, you will feel good. You are getting money. You are getting some assignments. You are getting money. You don't need to bother whichever industry is coming. It's one manufacturing, it's something, machine installation. Somebody told go there. Some Chinese guests are coming. You will do this. You will get some money. You will enjoy, and some, initially you will feel very happy. Okay, I am earning some money. I have no option, no issues. But in course of certain time, 10 years down the line, when you will be around 35, 40, when that time you consider yourself that you still as a Chinese expert only, you have no domain knowledge, right? What will happen to you? You cannot feel your pain. Industry does not need you as a translator or interpreter. Industry needs, you should do a process. You own a process. That process involvement with the language is there. So I need to make myself not as a language expert, but also a domain expert, irrespective of industries. This is what I need to do, or you need to do before you start your journey in terms of corporates. Yes, in international MNCs or Indian company, anywhere you go. Okay? So first rule is, don't consider yourself that you are only a language expert subject to do the translation or interpretation. Unless until you go inside the domain, what industry is doing, you don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to be the subject matter expert. But you can be a domain expert. You will be doing more better job than anybody is doing in the program. Why? Because you have the age of language. Because language barriers there, that's why you are hired, right? That's a language requirement. So the language requirement will help me to demonstrate my language skill. But it does not help me to grow in my career for longer period unless until I acquire those skill sets where industry needs those skill sets. So that time we cannot demand. Something will happen, right? Each and everywhere we are in the classroom. Here our teachers are just like families. It's very cool. But you imagine when you will be working with 10,000, 5,000 people in a floor, maybe 500 people, hardly 10, 20 people will be just maybe near you, you will be knowing, right? But you are exposed to more people and more industries. That time you feel many people will be there. So you have to be prepared for domain knowledge as well as your emotional engineering also. What is emotional engineering? You have to be prepared for odds. Some people will be very harsh. Some people will be very polite also. Some people, some of your colleagues will be very helpful. Some may not be helpful. So all the odds and all the goods you have to be combined, and then you have to mold yourself. So once it's your domain knowledge, once your language skill, then you have your emotional engineering. I called it emotional engineering is very important everyday life. I have also gone through so many issues in Oracle. I was in Sydney. Everybody there speaks the accent in Australian accent is totally different from what we are speaking now in India, right? So they have a separate way of expression. I was not in a position to understand that how is this guy is speaking. Sometimes I used to know, sometimes I used to forget. So end of the day, again coming back to the room, and then you just revise all this. So gradually, once after 7-10 days, I used to grasp up some of the properly these whatever is asking to do. And so initially I faced lot of problem during the transition period from the classroom to the corporate. Suddenly came into the ocean. The best thing is there some of the MNCs will teach you not exactly what you need to do there, but they will teach you the ethics, their policies and their processes, how they are functioning about the organization, right? So there will be some kind of SOPs, standard operation process, some kind of rules and regulation you need to follow. Something you cannot do, can do. Email etiquettes. So how do you write an email? You cannot write randomly something, right, in the body of the email or something, in the corporate it's very difficult to do this. So what is the subject I need to choose, a very specific, I need to address a specific issues. So those things you will be learning if you are into longer period, assignments, or if you take assignments for 2 months or 1 month, then these things may not be there. So this is what you have to focus, your choice, how you will mold or your aspirations for that job, choosing a corporate assignment. This is one. Second is in terms of manufacturing, it's different. In terms of IT services, I have worked for both. So as far as IT and services is concerned, they are more very much organized industry. There everything is defined, each and everything. You go inside the campus, you have a access control there, then you have a security protocol, then you have a data security protocol. So many things we are not in this classroom. Maybe how many of you are aware about data security? How many of you are aware about data security? What do you mean by data security? Any of you have any idea? NDA. How many of you know NDA? Non-disclosure agreement. How do you know? What is coming in your mind if I say NDA? Okay? Do you understand NDA? What is NDA? Non-disclosure agreement. Right? What is non-disclosure agreement? Because each and every industry, every organization, they have their certain business secret, right? So that business secret is so powerful, so important. You will be exposed to those secrets. Suppose an example, price. They have a product, they have a price. Same products, another company, another organization is also doing, right? So you understand, you are in purchase. So you know the sales price, right? So you know the core of the business. what is the sales price? Any product sales price is very important, right? What you are selling, what you are making, that's the difference. That's a profit margin, right? So when you know this information is very sensitive information, right? So the sensitive information, you cannot share this information to opponents or somebody who is doing your competitor. So those ethics and NDA, you have to sign sometime. So prepare for those things also, like, mentally you have to be ready for many things, which may not be we are doing here now, maybe you have to do them. So sometimes you might doing things, why I need to sign this document. So that's a requirement, the industry needs it. So you have to follow the rules and ethics, that's the thing. So this is one. Then data security will come. So some data leakage will be a serious consequences. This is IT services and all. So those, even someone can even do some kind of basic courses, like, after your graduation, MBA or masters, you were into the corporate support or something you are doing related to language related job. Suddenly you might have heard or you can encounter that something we need to follow the rules, don't disclose this information to others or something like that. Even your colleague will not know what you're doing. Something happens. Some companies are having this kind of work culture also. So what is there? That is a course also. Application courses are there available in the internet, you can see. So you can do some kind of application courses where you can have a skill, acquiring those skills like data security, how to maintain the data security and protocols and all these things. So those kind of course will help you. Even some other companies also hiring a guy like you or other like language expert. Then you can say in the CV, see, I know the language also, I understand the data security protocols and everything. I know, I'm aware about your quality procedures. So those things, so those things you can even do a small crash course. So what will help you, in the long run, those courses will help you to choose you fast. Like, the selection will be much better. So your selection, or you can demand higher wages. Those things will help. Okay, this is in the application area. Even I can do some database courses also, even ERPs also, like SAP, MM, Ariba, material management, Ariba courses is easy. Irrespective of language background also, you can do those courses, are not very costly. The certification you can do, project management certification you can do, quality management certification you can do. So these all are required in terms of where we will be doing. We don't know what industry will be working, right? So some industry will be demand such kind of skill sets. Even management courses also will demand. Okay. So language is one. Then you have the other skill set. It's combined it. Then you are equally valuable or equally important to the other guys who have done masters in management or something, or IT or something like that. So you are also almost doing the same job. Like communication part is very critical. So you have the age that you know the language, right? That wherever the Chinese language barrier will be there, you are the first person. And along with that, you have other skills. So the corporate wants more. See, any organization, he needs more things. One guy can do this many work. It will be very good. Why he needs to hire 2-3 person for that job, right? So this is every industry wants to earn more. So why should we need to restrict ourselves? So we can also earn more in terms of building our, skills and all. That's it. So if you ask me about my journey, then I work mostly after Oracle. I left. I joined Aditya Birla Group, which is again a chemical company, basically the East Coast industry. From there, my manufacturing journey started. I started working in China. I was on a work permit basis for 1 year, for almost 2 years. So there I was doing purchase of chemicals, mostly raw materials. What I used to do is, I used to call the supplier, come to the factory and give all your product details, chemical reports, and used to evaluate based on the parameters set by the company, and then final selection process and other things used to be done by the seniors. So my primary job was this in China. So I used to interact with lot of vendors. So now you can imagine, why is like I need to interact with the vendor. I am language expert. So this is again, it will be your kind of, psychological thoughts. Like you have to change this mindset. You need to do beyond your barrier, right? So your barrier is only not that you can do only, my job is, call the supplier and that's it, my finish. I don't need to evaluate, his quotation, what is given, what is written, I don't know, I don't want to know. This is what you will be doing mistake. No one will tell you that you do this. But start doing this. When you start doing this, beyond your area, beyond your thought, so that time you are, no more only a language expert. You are a domain expert. So you have already acquired those knowledge, right? So in this process, I used to do a lot of procurement and supply chain. Started there itself. So after 2007-8, I came back to India due to my family. My father expired, and I came to Chennai, Nokia. Again, Nokia SCJ. So Nokia also I worked as a supply chain procurement specialist kind of job. And Nokia was doing good initially, but after a certain time, Nokia got gradually slowing down in India. They closed their units, and I left there. I joined an Indian company in Hyderabad, which was basically a thermal power manufacturing, like installation of thermal power projects in India, various parts. So there also I started working as a manager for the procurement and contracts. So there also I learned how to draft a contract. Have you anybody heard about contracts and all these kind of words before? Contract you have heard, right? So what type of contract you imagine in your mind? A contract may be a purchase contract, or maybe a kind of some one page of house rent agreement kind of contract. So this many, right? But believe me, when it comes to the project contract, the size will be 1,000 pages. So how many types of contracts will be in this major? One will be general terms and conditions. That's called general terms and conditions. It will be around maybe 100 to 100 pages. Anybody can extend. Then there will be commercial conditions, right? Then there will be technical conditions, right? Then there will be a schedule, supply of schedule, right? So you can see, I am from Chinese background. Why I need to study all this from somewhere to somewhere? I am nowhere, but I am everywhere. So this is how it is. Like I have done myself. Okay. So no one told me, but luckily I got some mentors. Like SARS is your all-time mentor. They are our all-time mentor. They are just shadow. You know what? See, today you are here. It does not mean that they are away. Tomorrow you are going out. I have gone out from here, but shadow is with me because base is here. So they are all the time mentors. But some mentors you will also get in your perfect. Some mentor also you get. Those mentors also equally, or maybe directly, indirectly, they will train. Because every day you work something, you learn something. You have to learn. So I never know what is RFQ. What is called RFQ? Request for quotation. I never heard about this word in my life. Why RFQ? Someone is telling the floor, hey, give me the RFQ document. It took me 3 hours to digest that word RFQ. I asked 10 people. Finally, I convinced that this is the right word. I did not know this. Request for quotation. Okay? This is the things you will be learning. Whenever you will be exposing to certain industry, there will be certain industry terminologies, certain short forms, certain corporate languages. Those languages, those short forms, when someone is telling you before you go and expose, you believe that you are lucky 10 times than us. You know what? I can tell you what problem you are going to face. I can tell you what you are going to think the first day you go into the floor to start a job. Sometimes you feel like, oh my God, I have done masters. Then why I am doing this data entry job here, something is telling I need to do this. This also will come to your mind. So these things you have to delete or destroy. Go ahead, whatever you're doing today. You will feel many odds. Some people you will be encountering every day. Corporates, like there are very or so many difficulties it will be there. But all the difficulties, all the odds, you will need to remember one thing. I have also done in this way. I thought it is my experience. Anything happens bad, is something for good is coming. This is where I transit my mind. I keep my mind comforts in this way, and it is helping me a lot. Whenever something happening bad, I think in this way that something is going to happen, definitely good. That's why it's like happening with me, and I believe it. And it's the moment you believe it, it will happen, and it happened with me. After okay, last thing will come later. What was like odds I faced, that also I tell you. You won't believe. So when I started doing all this, contract proposals, making everything, I gone through. Then I went to China in 2008-9. I was there in Chengdu. I worked for a government company in China, that is Dongfang Electric. It's a state-owned company. I got a lot of support from local governments in China, like the employees, because the police verification, visa extension, they used to do their own. Because it's a government company, right? So it was very easy for them. Because police, even sometimes police also used to ask me, Chinese police used to ask me, don't come to a police station. I said, why? I need to come back. It's protocol. No. Yes, your office itself is a police station. So they are our boss. You don't need to come. So this is what I have experienced. And I stayed in the China village in Hubei. There aged people. Every week they used to gather and catch me and some other Indian colleagues and start, gossiping. They used to prepare meals for us. Sometimes they used to prepare, and mahjong they used to play. I didn't know although. So this was the kind of exposure I have got, luckily to work with Chinese people in China. So long years. After coming back in 2014, I joined Flextronics in Chennai. Again, Flextronics is a global MNC, similar to Foxconn. Some of you have heard about. So yes. Flex, basically a company which is doing OEM for many companies like Apple, Samsung, and others. So when you talk about Flextronics, it's not a subject to one product. They do a lot of products like high level PCB components, multi-layer PCB components, and medical devices like scanner, MRI devices. Those motherboards, even mobile phones motherboards also they are doing. So basically it's a tech company where thousands of parts and components are sourced, So again, it's like, I'm into that domain, like electronics, PCBs, procurement, contracts, again supplier, material master, vendor master, so many things. So just imagine, my language inside, and I am doing something else. But again, the language environment is back to back because all the vendors are from China. I handled around 500 Chinese vendors in Flex. 500. I used to call every day to at least 50, 60 people in Flex to get the supply details, to get the PO information, confirmation, so many things. So those exposure, we have to, I work in a particular domain. I chose that domain. I felt that comfortable. So it does not mean that you will need to choose the same domain. It's not necessary. But you need to know the industry. What is there? What a manufacturing industry is doing. Irrespective of each manufacturing industry, the base fundamental is the process is remains same. So now come to the little bit, interactive. Like I'm just telling randomly, I have no preparation like what I have prepared a PPT and give you. It's boring, right? It's boring. Some lecture, make some AI presentation and give it to you. You listen and then you forget. And they will say in the chat, during the chat, oh, what boring here? Something is telling you. I don't like that. This is my real story. I'm telling you, and you will feel the similar issues also. What I'm telling you. So first thing is, so first thing is, whenever you work in a manufacturing industry, the first thing you should understand, if it is a electronic manufacturing, if it is a hard, heavy machinery manufacturing, is a medical instrument, or any mobile components, or anything they are doing, or a solar manufacturing, like solar panel, I'll ask one or two questions. You understand what is your thought process. I will understand that. Then I'll explain. Suppose you got an opportunity to work with a solar panel manufacturing company as an expert, communication expert, language expert. What will come in your mind? What things will you come in your mind? What will you visualize? Solar panel manufacturing. Have you heard anybody? What will come into your mind? You got opportunity. Suppose today, tomorrow you are exposed to Goldie Solar. Goldie Solar hired you as a language expert. So what things will come to your mind? Just I want to ask. I want to know from you. What do you visit? What is the first thing that you comes in your mind?
I think I have to negotiate with Chinese companies when they come to sell their products.
That's it. What about you? Yeah. What do you think? You are an expert in a solar manufacturing company panel. Solar panel. Do you know solar panel? Anybody heard? Anybody saw? Anybody? Did you see any solar panel next to you installed around it? Now the renewable energy solar is booming everywhere, right? So yeah, hostel also. So suppose and solar industry, they are not aware that there is an institute and there lot of language experts are available. They are struggling with the expertise. All the solar panels machineries are sourced from China. All the solar raw materials sourced from China. So each and every components, every machineries are built in China, are installed here. And believe me, solar industry is facing the highest level of, not only solar, the semiconductor, entire electronic, semiconductor and solar industries are today facing in India the highest level of skills problem, right? Skilled people are not there. If there is so many engineers, us, you are electrical engineer, but you have never worked in solar industry. So you and electrical engineer, there is no difference. What's the point? So be positive. There is no difference between an engineer and me. I am telling you. The moment if you take it as a challenge. Okay? So what things you need to do is visualize yourself that first solar industry somebody will say I do that, I do some translation interface, that's it. Say that. So any industry you work, first to try to understand what this industry is doing. What he is doing. He is making the panel. How he is making the panel? Questions should come. Right? So questions you need to build yourself. The question, the moment you make yourself, this type of question will arise in mind. How he is making the panel first? I need to learn how you are making the panel. Without knowing, how do you feel any kind of communication issues? This guy is telling, my laminator is giving some kind of bubbles. What is that? How to translate all this? What is bubbles? I don't know. What is laminator? I don't know. I don't need to know the engineering, but I should know what this process is. From start to end, what is the process involved? Right? What is the manufacturing process? Every manufacturing process, the common things are same, right? You need machine, you need man, you need materials, you need worker, means engineer to run the machine or machine automation, some kind of, right? So there are multiple things are involved. So I need to know those involvements, right? So the moment I know these are the things common for all industries, irrespective of. So try to understand that what industry is doing, what product they are doing. That moment the question will come to your mind. 10, 15 days or 20 days or 1 month, you will know many things about that industry, about the product. Okay? So that time your job will be much easier. So there will be no fear in your mind. What he is asking, I know what is the problem. So simply you can solve the issues. So this is what industry means. So if you start okay boss, I just a language expert, nobody knows what he is not telling me about what he's doing. No one will tell you. First thing. You need to build yourself. You need to search. Google it. AI, you just make a proper queries. Try to make your queries properly. Okay. What about the PV module? How module is being manufactured? Okay. So it will give you answer. Try to basic only, just basic. I don't need to be engineer, but I need to know the basic. That is what you need to know. Just give an example of module engineering, module manufacturing. You can do anything, right? Suppose you are working for a medicine company. So any medicine company, there will be a machineries line will be there, automation will be there, raw material will be there, quality process will be there, right? Someone will do quality check. So someone will be doing the lab testing. So test every batch, there will be batch testing, and there can be some kind of calibration of the machine, right? So all these are all combined in this industry. So similar to every industry. So some industry parameters are different, requirements are different, right? So aerospace engineering, there the requirement will be different. There will be no, there will be error free, like zero error. You cannot have error. 0 point tolerance is not there. So almost zero error. So those kind of things, it is high level. You don't need to, sometimes you don't need to learn those high level things also. The basics we need to know. How this industry is functioning, what are the basics they are doing, how they are procuring the materials, from where they are sourcing the materials. This is what your industry functions. That's it, the manufacturing. So my intention to tell you that don't make your thinking very small, just a single domain. Make yourself free from your thinking, right? What you are thinking today. Definitely, okay, sir, you have worked, so you know the industry very much, you have a lot of experience for many years. I'm not telling that you know today or tomorrow, but if you have that mindset to know, then you will be able to know. That's it, simply. And in course of working, if you are, you are feeling that some course I need to do, some management course or something I need to study, you have opportunities, you have option to do that. So no one can stop that you don't study the management course or something, right? So this is the way I have done. And luckily, and I have faced lot of bads during the COVID time. COVID time, I lost about 2 years. So my business, I had a very good setup in Chennai. Solar pump we used to assemble. I had around 10-15 guys, local engineers. So during the COVID, all my orders gone, and we stopped our manufacturing. What to do? 2 years completely shut down, right? So all cash flows and everything was stopped. So the cash flow stopped, everything stopped. We gave all salaries to the people for almost 2 years, and then finally we closed our setup. Again, I back to the job. So even I had a very bad time in 2022-23. I remember in my account there was only 2-3 lakhs of rupees left. Even it was so much of issues. It's beyond imagination. So it happens. It happens. So take in that time also. So that time also I feel, something maybe differently will happen. It will change my life. Definitely soon something will happen. And then I got a job with Sarcom Corporation Taiwan. And you know what? I compromised with the salaries also. They offered me around 15 lakhs. Before I have worked almost 22 LPA. And I have joined and I worked for some time. And then I started working as a consultant simultaneously. I got a project in Bangalore, which is my first project, 600 megawatt solar power, solar PV module manufacturing. And from that project, I earned about 60 to 70 lakhs. So that helped me to rebuild my journey. So this is what, opportunities, sometimes you feel that something happening very odd, sometimes you'll very, so don't trap yourself into that mindset of 99% people. So when you have that trap in mindset, in the trap, you are in trap. So you have to come out from the trap. So the odd something is happening is better for you. You make you stronger. It will make you more stronger. Okay, so just think positive and focus on the industries what is going on. Something will come, and skills is no competition and nowhere you can compare with you along with your skill set. So the skill set is always important. You try to do something. You have internet, you have a now tab, laptops, everyone is having. You can make your skills all the time. Every day you can learn something small thing, very small, but you can learn something. No need certification, no needs even degree also. But if you know it, when someone is interviewing, if you tell this is what I understand about this your industry, your company, so your product, he will feel first choice to you. Yeah, this is what I have also. I have rejected 30 times maybe during this 20 to 23 because of age factor. Because of age factor. Yeah. Many companies used to tell me upfront, first you are already above or more than 40, we cannot hire, you are more experienced. This will happen. This is industry's rule. You cannot fight with the rule, right? They have a choice. They have a choice. So you have all the odds and things are in front of you, right? So what I do, oh my God, I've stopped myself. I keep on doing my job. Things I have done. So in the solar industry, I acquired I work like an engineer nowadays. Okay? I know the cell, even more depth engineering. Solar cell technologies. I know solar cell technology. How cell is being manufactured. If I start telling, it will take 3 hours, 4 hours. So anytime later on someone wants to learn, I will share some documents. You can go through how cells are being manufactured from the polysilicon, sands, which is sand processing through many chemical, and then upper steam, lower steam. So many processes are involved. Yeah. So don't go into that depth today. I believe all of you. And I also can make you one small promise that we are working for a cell line very soon. If it is contract is signed, we will be taking 4-5 guys from here as the expert, because there will be 40-50 guys, Chinese people working in that project. So if that contract is being finalized, signed, then definitely that will be one. Another thing is, I have already spoke to 3 industry giants and solar PVs. They did not know that the JNU is, the Chinese department is there. Students are very strong. That's even 3 years, 4 years, 5 years course, and very strong, educational setup is there. So they did not have any idea. So I told them, 1 or 2 people, they are interested, and down the line, probably their leaders may come and address you. So there will be opportunities. There is no worry about that. If your goal is longer time, then opportunities for you for longer time. If your goal is very small, means shorter, something like earn money and this, then after certain years, maybe you have a issue with this age factor, like what I have faced. Right? So be focused and positive. Things will change. And whatever maybe the odds happening surrounding you and war and all these things, everything, all the impact, don't watch all bullshit news. Okay, be focused with your study and learning mostly, and teachers are always there, like just family. So I don't want to give more waste your time. So this is what I believe, and positivity is more important. And your whatever you think, it will manifest in your life. That is the thing. If you think negative, it will happen. If you think positive, it will happen. 100%. This has happened with my final journey. Now I am going to Shanghai as work as a GM supply chain for a Acme Solar near Gurgaon. And my journey is ups and downs mixed with all odds. Now finally landed with almost 8 lakhs MBA. Okay. So this is what my journey. I think studying a language and with the domain and other expertise, you can also earn more than CR, more than 2 CR, anytime, anywhere. Because this is what is this all about. Because this is powerful. Chinese language is a very powerful tool. Because the China domaminates world manufacturing hub. China dominates raw materials. China dominates PV, solar cell, chemicals, everything. So you can dominate also. This is what I think. You can dominate with our skill set, and we also always will be behind you. Whatever support is required time to time, and Rakesh are wonderfully there. So strongly supporting you. So don't skip classes. Build your basic and strong, and don't go with the short-term solution. Like short-term you earn some money and then you just this was I think that time also sir used to tell us, hey, you guys, and we are that time even skipping one class also he used to call. Hey, yesterday you have not come. Like that, that much attention. So you are lucky. This is you are in this. Another story I need to share. Yesterday I was coming from Sarojini Nagar by a cab. I booked the cab. I told, where you are? हिंदी में बोला, हाँ जा रहे सर. मैं बोला जेन वाला जेन जा रहा. मैं बोला हाँ मैं इस जमाना में यहाँ पढ़ता था. बोलते सर मेरा ये सपना था कि मैं जेन में पढ़ूं. मैं बोला क्यों? सर वो जेन वो ऐसा है कि वो जगह नहीं है, वहाँ एक बोलते पढ़ाई का विलेज हो. मैं बोला पढ़ाई का विलेज? बोलते हाँ सर वो दिल्ली अलग जेन अलग. ये सब दिस इज व्हाट ही यूज्ड इन हिंदी. वो ऐसा बोला. वो एमकॉम पास किया है. मतलब मन में ये फील है भाई. वो बोलता है कि जेएनयू तो एक ऐसा जगह है कि अलग है. दिल्ली अलग जेएनयू अलग. वहां जाके लगता है कि गांव में आ गया और पढ़ाई का गांव है वो. ये सुनने को मिला मुझे कल. तो आई जस्ट टेल यू thank you for giving me this opportunity, and wish you all the best. That's it. Thank you.